You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Macy Eglund. A woman accused of being involved in the missing girl case was arraigned today. Rebecca Browell pleaded not guilty to selling cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl. The Brentwood woman was allegedly giving drugs to that 14-year-old. Sherry Einhorn was in court today and will bring us those details in a moment. The suspected United Healthcare CEO killer appeared in court today. Newsday Courts reporter Janan Fisher tells us what happened.
There was a huge turnout. The crowd, he's garnered a lot of support from people who are upset with the healthcare industry, who have been cheering his cause and protesting the healthcare industry. Luigi's lawyer, Karen Agnifilo, in the hearing today, protested the way her client's being treated. She said that he's being held in federal court.
Now, the 26-year-old has pleaded not guilty to multiple counts of murder. In other news, Macy's in Massapequa will close on April 11th. A state filing says 77 employees will be laid off at its Sunrise Mall store. 2 Macy's Backstage stores on Long Island will also be closing this year. The Yankees are changing their policy on facial hair.
I did make it clear to the players that it's going to be, it's going to be a well-groomed, clean look.
Now, the policy has been in effect since 1976, and many players pushed back against it. Up until now, players were allowed to grow only a mustache. The only New York team left with a no facial hair policy is the Islanders. Let's take a quick look at Saturday's forecast now. It will be nice and sunny, highs in the mid-30s before some clouds roll in Saturday night. We'll take a look at your 7-day forecast for you in just a few minutes. All right, now back to the case involving the missing girl from East Patchogue. Our Sherry Einhorn has the latest.
Rebecca Browell is one of 12 people who prosecutors say are connected to a sex trafficking case involving a 14-year-old from East Patchogue who went missing for 25 days before being found on a boat in Islip. The 48-year-old Brentwood woman pleaded not guilty to felony drug charges in a new 14-count indictment. 63-year-old Ralph Knowles pleaded not guilty to the same drug charges 2 days earlier. According to this indictment, Browell, along with Knowles, sold heroin, cocaine, and fentanyl out of this home in Brentwood where they were living together between the end of January and the beginning of February. Knowles is one of 9 people facing charges in a 75-count indictment in the missing teen case. Prosecutors say the teen was raped by all 7 men in that indictment and was trafficked between multiple houses. Knowles is accused of giving the girl crack cocaine while she was being held on the boat. As Newsday previously reported, prosecutors said in court papers that Browell was providing drugs to the girl and knew the teen was underage and having sex with adult men.
There's been a real effort by the District Attorney's Office to portray her as being involved in the matter the other defendants are, but she's actually not. She is alleged to have provided narcotics to a minor, and at this time I don't know that minor to be the same minor that's involved in the other case.
The DA's office has said it won't comment on the case because the girl is a minor. In Riverhead, I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
A new report found racial bias was not a significant factor in Suffolk County's traffic stops. Newsday's Michael O'Keefe explains.
The report does note that there are disparities in terms of people's percentage of the population in Suffolk County. Black people, for example, represent almost 10% of Suffolk County's population, but they account for 19% of the traffic stops in Suffolk County. The community advocates I spoke to really wanted to know, well, why is that, and how can you say there is no significant racial bias in traffic stops when you have a figure like that in your own report?
A civil rights organization called Latino Justice will be issuing their own report for Suffolk County in March.
It's hockey season again for the Islanders, who resume their season on Sunday against the Stars at UBS Arena. after the 2-week break for the NHL Four Nations Face-Off tournament. Only Brock Nelson for Team USA was involved in that tournament. For the Islanders, it is now serious crunch time through the end of the regular season. There are 6 games before the NHL trade deadline on March 7th and 27 games remaining in the season. The Islanders will restart their season 4 points out of a playoff spot, with the Rangers one of 4 teams ahead of them between them and the last wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. Now, for the Islanders, it's all about getting healthy. They have a long list of injured players, starting with Matthew Barzal, defenseman Ryan Pulock. The good news, though, is that defenseman Scott Mayfield appears ready to get back into action on Sunday against the Stars. For NewsdayTV, I'm Andrew Gross.
Feed Me is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
We are kicking off our series highlighting chefs on Long Island. Here's a look at the cook behind Village Barbecue.
I used to think that when you put rub on food, you actually would like massaged it. No, you just sprinkle it on. When I made this decision to do this, of course it was nerves, but getting older and decided that, okay, if I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it now. I retired from healthcare. 40 plus years inside of working in hospitals and outside as a contract manager. Watching my mom and watching my grandma and my cousins cook, I just had a fascination with preparing meals. And on the meat side, we cooked it pretty well. Over the course of the first year being in Hempstead and then transitioning to my own place in a gas station in Amityville, my menu kind of changed a little bit. Being in the community where it was predominantly African Americans, I started making dishes that I've never made before, like turkey wings, frying more chicken. I was strictly wanted to be a barbecue restaurant, but the community and surrounding community, that's what they wanted. Once it here, the environment kind of dictates what you make, but I try to stay within the barbecue world because that's kind of really what I want to do, but there are a couple outliers. This is a mess that it made from cooking 10 briskets last night. There is some crossover between soul food and barbecue, like ribs, barbecue chicken, some of the side dishes, potato salad, macaroni and cheese. People coming in from Brooklyn, from the Bronx, Queens, all the way out in Oakdale. It's a sacrifice. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Definitely a lot of work, but it looks fantastic. Let's talk about your forecast. Maybe you have some dinner plans, some brunch plans this weekend. In your 7-day, your weekend right now is looking pretty good. Later next week, we could see some rain, but at least it comes with warmer weather.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
You're watching Newsday TV. For more on all of the stories you've seen today, head over to newsday.com, click Get More under the Newsday TV video box. I'm Macy Eglund. Thanks for joining us.